and we got some really cool stuff to share with you to help you become successful. And Brian, you know what? This is your interview, so ask me anything.
We're live?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, Robert? So, my name is Brian Brown. My blog is brianbrowntv, and I had the privilege to meet Robert Jr. I was just checking out some videos on Facebook. Loved what he stood for. Loved that he stood behind God. And when I started seeing what his system had to offer, I spoke to him, and he connected me with Mr. Robert Hollis Sr. himself, which is just a network marketing legend. I've heard that he is successfully went to #1 in 7 network marketing companies, and he just is at, right now, I believe, 43 million. So thank you for coming on today, and thank you for giving me your time, and take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. I really appreciate that. I really enjoy what I do, and it's great to finally meet you. And you know, I just want everyone to know as they're watching this, Brian and I've decided, along with my son, to become partners, and we got some really cool stuff to share with you to help you become successful. And Brian, you know what? This is your interview, so ask me anything.
Well, I have a lot of questions. Does it matter how many? Do I have a limit?
No, not at all. We just limited by time. That's it.
Okay. I understand you're very successful right now and you're making millions. So I wanted to ask you, what is your dream right now? Like, where do you see your next, dream lifestyle and move is in life?
Well, one of the things that's very unique, and I seem weird when I'm saying this because, when you really understand wealthy people, they all go through phases. And I went through the phases too. So first of all, I never ever thought that I could be this successful. And then when it hit, the first thing I wanted to do is get out of debt, did that. Then I wanted to, buy a nice car, did that, a couple of them. And then the next thing I wanted to do is get a really nice home. And I did that, and then got another one. And then all of a sudden it came to a point where let's travel the world. So I took my son, Robert Hollis Jr., and his brothers, Matthew and Kyle, and my wife, and we traveled all over the world. And all of a sudden you come back and you're still making money. So the next thing we did is we saved a bunch of money and invested it. And then what? And so I tell people that wealthy people that go out of their way to get connected and start building community and start giving back to humanity. You hear Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they've dedicated over half of their wealth. And now, Bill Gates will go down in history for not Microsoft, but eradicating malaria. And so, now Warren Buffett gave him $38 billion of his money because you give back. So my dream, really simple, Brian, is I've helped 45 people make over $1 million a year. And the company that I built, Unlimited Profits, is now 100% designed to take that to 1,000. I want to help 1,000 people make over $1 million a year, and hundreds of thousands of people never have a job again. And that's really my dream. My dream, of course, on a family side is, of course, for my family to continue to be healthy. I'm a new grandpa. And so, but I want to build a legacy. I want to build something that I can pass down to my children's children. So my grandson Ryder has kids. They'll be taken care of, and they can continue to just do all kinds of philanthropic stuff and just give to charities and just help all kinds of people. So there's my dream.
Ah, cool. I love it. So where do you escape to?
You're asking great questions. I escape. There's a phrase out there that I didn't really believe, but now I do. You never work a day in your life until you fall in love with what you do.
Right.
And so, honestly, I don't need to escape. People ask me all the time about, you just brought up a neat phrase that made me think. I guess if you want to escape, you're escaping from something that you don't want to do. And so I don't feel the need to escape. I love what I do. I can't wait to help people and talk to people like you and inspire them and mentor them and give them hope and just hope that they, when they start making incredible money, that they reach out and start helping others too. So when you say escape, I don't really do anything to
Is there
decompress.
like a relaxing place or a relaxing, mode that even before you were successful, that you felt you needed to get there to unwind?
Oh yeah, before I became successful, I needed every Friday night and Saturday to party because I worked all week. So thank God it's Friday.
TGIF, yeah, yeah.
Go out and have a few drinks, go bowling, go play pool, play darts. I grew up in a small place, and so there wasn't a lot to do. But man, I used to be so involved in NASCAR and all kinds of sports, and now I love helping people. So I just love what I do. So I think I can guarantee if you ask a lot of successful people, like Richard Branson that owns Virgin. You know
Right.
what I mean? If you ask them, hey, listen, what do you do to decompress and settle down? It's like, well, I feel like every day's Saturday. It's a great question. That's a good question.
Well, I like to walk on the beach, so that whenever I walk on the beach, I get ideas, and I don't know why. They just pop into my head, all these ideas, and I always come back with a bunch of notes or videos. So that's what I
For,
was
for, for, for me, it's taking a shower.
taking a shower. Nice. um, at what point did it just click for you that you said, this is just too easy and I'm going to be rich?
Well, you hear about everyone. They go through this little thing called I don't know. I call it a pop. It's called a point of passion.
Hmm.
And when you really get there and everything starts serendipitously going together, and it seems like it's just almost effortless. One of the unique things about that is that when I really understood that when I focus on helping other people get what they wanted out of life, it
Hmm.
seemed like everything came really fast for me. Up to that point, because of who I was, an auto mechanic, hung around a bunch of friends and family, I was all in it for me. All it counted was me making a buck, making a buck. And I could make money. I just never ever got it to a place where it was residual. And I
Right.
never got it where, it was coming on in regardless if I was doing anything.
Yeah.
And so Zig Ziglar says that, Think and Grow Rich, Science of Getting Rich, all the top books in the world talk about you got to go from being, we all start out dependent as kids. We're all dependent on someone to make sure we got a house and something to eat. And then we work our brains out during our teenage years because we want to be independent,
Yeah.
but we still are dependent. You know what I mean? So that's where the conflict comes for teenagers. And then you finally go to school or go to college or get your own place, get a job, and then you become independent. People don't know about the next phase because they're not taught it. The next place is called interdependence. And
Yeah.
interdependence is when each and every day all you're doing is helping other people get what they want out of life.
Whoa, that's pretty deep.
So interdependence is a blast because if any one of your viewers, including you, Brian, has ever helped anyone
Hmm.
and been able to do it with not worrying about you, not worrying about being paid back, giving of your money or your time and just helping people out, I mean, that's joy, man. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, I taught a guy a little Twitter thing that I knew. He just hit my wife up on Facebook. He said he really needed help, and I just showed him a little Twitter tool that, it's really simple, like a 10-minute video. And he came back ecstatic, like he made like a couple $100 on ClickBank, and he was just like floored. I've never made any money in my entire life. I've been trying this for like 10 years, and it felt good. It did feel good.
Yep. And you just said it felt good. I'm not bragging because this is not why I do what I do, but I get messages like that all day.
That
from from people that have read my book or people that have gone through some of my mentorship at Unlimited Profits. It's I just love it.
What's your favorite Napoleon Hill book?
My favorite Napoleon Hill book is really the only one that I read, which is Think and Grow Rich. I read that book, and I can't tell you how many times I've read it, including how many times I've listened to the audios. And what I can do, Brian, is I'll make sure to send you a link that you can share with other people, because I got the rights to not only the ebook but also all the audios.
Oh, sweet.
One of the books that I can send you a link to also is, a lot of people don't know that the book called Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles was actually written something like 20 or 30 years before Think and Grow Rich. And so, if my son hasn't given you that yet, I'll send you that link, and anybody that watches this video, get a hold of Brian so he can get you a copy and the audios.
Yeah, it's a good book. Really good book. Love it.
Yep.
So have you ever been into any Tony Robbins events?
I have not.
You have not?
And it's just a total freak why I haven't.
Is he someone you respect?
What?
Is he someone you respect and you look up to?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A couple of times I have promoted his events for my leaders, and then something came up, really weird stuff, where even the tickets that I had for myself I gave away. So I'll meet him and get a chance. I got his, in fact, the newest one I got right now is his Money Master the Game.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, and this one right now is going like crazy. And
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. How many hours a day did you work when you first started out and started using the internet as a real business?
Well, again, I was really passionate about it, and so when I first got in it, I just am the kind of guy that just immerses myself and throws myself all in. And so I know that a lot of people can't do that, but when I knew that other people were doing it, Brian, and had replaced their income and never had to work for anybody again, I knew I could take the time to either figure this stuff out over a period of 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, a year, 6 months. And I tell people all the time, I'm one of those guys that I don't play with things. I really don't. I throw myself all in, and I learn to master something. And be honest with you, I'm glad that we're partners, because you'll be able to really help a lot of people that I have. I master something, so I learned how to master Facebook, and I don't even do Facebook ads.
Wow.
I just mastered the skill of getting people, finding people liking their comments and saying nice things to them and saying nice stuff about their profiles, putting together a relationship, a real honest relationship. And then when they get to know, like, and trust me, I outgive everybody I know on the internet. So I just give free stuff all day. And that's what they get, so when they watch the free stuff I give them, then they know, like, and trust me. That builds rapport. And the next thing I know, we're in business with each other. So that's what I did. And before Facebook, I used MySpace.
MySpace. Wow. Now, when you say you give free stuff, now, I don't know, this is like one of those things that I always have like in the back of my head. So like if I have a PDF and I like it, and it's branded by someone else or has links or anything, but I really would like to share it to people, but I don't have the time to edit it or take the links out and rebrand it to me. What do? Do you just give it away?
No, here's what I do. I read it and take notes on it, and then do a video about it and put the video on YouTube and then post it on my blog.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
People don't want to read anymore.
True.
So I even used to have long videos. I still have in my mentorship program where I have, videos that are hours, some long, and then they went to 30 minutes, and then they went to 20, and now they're 10. And now sometimes most of them are like 4 or 5 minutes. I think that if people get some good, valuable content from me that they can use immediately,
Mm-hmm.
in all areas of their life, not just marketing.
Right.
A lot of my stuff is I help people get unstuck, Brian. I get these people that they know the info, and if you went through all their library and their hard drive on their computer, they got so much info and knowledge it would scare you.
Just buying stuff and buying it, thinking, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to read that or watch that, and you never do it.
Yep. And a lot of people do. So that's why I always focus on helping them get a mindset where they start getting excited about life again, and they start getting inspired that, wow, I can do this. And then I like teaching them just a couple of little things that they can do, Brian, where they get results. And then, believe it or not, this is a thing I learned from Tony Robbins, is we all got God-given potential. We all got abilities to be more who we are. And so if you can give someone something small that they can do that's simple, and then they put it into action and they get some kind of results, then their belief and faith goes up and their confidence goes up, which increases their potential. So then they go into more action, get more results, and then it just, which, 99% of the people that are out there right now are doing just the opposite. They're not doing any kind of action because they're not inspired at all. They feel unworthy. They don't have confidence. They think, I can't do that. That's too technical. And so then they beat themselves up, which they lose more belief and more confidence. So then what they do is they get littler results in their life, and then they go into less action, and it spirals backwards. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean by that.
I've been there. I've been there a couple times in my life. It's not fun at all.
So how do you suggest people get out of the distractions and the minutia and have like a daily method of operation?
You asked some awesome questions, man. This has turned out to be one of my favorite
I told you I'm very techie. I got notes, like
No problem. What it is, Brian, is that we are usually distracted, and I even say it's called ADD.
Mm-hmm.
Always dealing with distractions.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that we're always distracted is because we're not getting results at something small. So what I try to get people to do is learn to master something simple. Learn to master something that can get you results. So I might teach somebody, hey, listen, let me give you a perspective. You go to one person's fan page on Facebook, or you go to their personal page, and they got 2,000 friends on Facebook, and then you go to their fan page, and they got, 78 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then you go to mine, and I got 5,000 friends, 6,800 followers, and 200,000 fans on my fan page. Now, that's one of them. My book has over 6,800,
Right.
And it's like people go, oh, I'd be more impressed with you. And I said, now, if you went and Googled me and went to Bing, because they got a neat function for video. So if you went to bing.com, clicked on videos, and put in Robert Hollis, and someone told me last time it was like over 11,000 videos,
Wow.
who do you want to work with?
Right.
And I said, that's all perspective. So I want to teach you how to start building friends on Facebook. Real ones.
Right.
Not pay for them and get 5,000 friends from India. Nothing against India, just
Have real friends with a real conversation.
yeah. So when people start doing that, Brian, they immediately start going, oh my God, I got some friends. Well, of course, the next step is how do you turn those friends into, going into your contact manager.
Okay.
So it's fun with my system because people get involved, and then all of a sudden the next thing they do when I tell them exactly how to do it, hey, do me a huge favor, check out this link, it's just a short video, and then people call me and they go, oh my God, I got 12 leads in my back office. Now what do I do? So they know, they now do what I tell them. Now they got leads. Now, I got to talk to somebody. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah, your system is just so incredible, and when I think about it, it just fires me up that you have put so much thought into what people need, and it could help every person that's in any business, small business, network marketing business, even a person that sold rugs on the side of the road, because it can teach people how to follow up with leads and how to understand you get people in a system, you get their phone number, and then you can watch them as they go. If they've done something that you've asked them to do, it doesn't matter what you asked them to do. Watch video 3. If they've watched video 3 and you saw they actually did what you asked, then they're listening to you, and you should, give them something else back.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. I tell people that I stole the idea from What About Bob?
What about Bob? Oh, the movie?
Yeah, baby steps. I'm gonna baby step myself to the elevator. I'm gonna baby.
That's awesome. That's crazy. Oh man, have you ever been to a Jim Rohn event?
Yes, many.
You have, really?
Yeah, very, very good friend of mine. I was devastated when he passed. It was really, really sad. I seen him first time I seen him, I think I was 27, and bought everything he's got, recorded everything he's got. Oh my God, huge, huge. I would consider he's in my top 3 of mentors that I have. He's pretty amazing.
He is. Every time he opens his mouth, it's like a golden nugget. It's a golden nugget.
Yeah, I tell people the way I rate speakers today, Brian, is probably a little different because I'm blessed to speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people a month. And one of the things that's unique is I call it content per minute. And so if you listen to a Jim Rohn audio, and for those of you that don't know who he is, his last name is Rohn. And I got you can go to YouTube and put in Jim Rohn. And I tell people I still listen to all his audios today and his videos today because there's so many golden nuggets, like you said, Brian, that while your mind hears something and goes, wow, and you start taking notes, he's still talking. And so he's like Larry the Cable Guy as a comedian. He'll say a joke, and then everyone's laughing, and then there's a line behind that that's funnier, and then there's a line behind that that's funnier yet. And Jim Rohn is like, he makes a point, and everybody goes, whoa, and then he adds it to one, and then adds it to one. So yeah, I still listen to his stuff. Thank you for bringing him up.
He's incredible. He's really incredible. So how many hours a day did you work, like, when you first started out? Like when you were doing network marketing and like let's say you were making $50,000-$100,000 a month, like how many hours a day were you working when you were making, like, you were mini successful,
When things work unique, and it's funny, I apologize for not clearly answering a question you asked in the past, where you said, how many hours when I first got into online marketing. I never ever counted the hours. I just knew that from the time I got up and had a cup of coffee, got a little woke up, I was on the computer, and it's like, I worked till I couldn't work anymore. And so, I tell people I just work half days, 12 hours. And and when I got involved in network marketing, there's a phrase that I actually emulated, and it was working from 8 to fame. I just really, really loved putting in that amount of hours because I got taught by a mentor that if I could establish some people that got results and got success, that I then could be in a position, Brian, where I would get momentum. When, just like anything, I do a training called, where it's like everybody's trying to push a bus. Well, if you're trying to push a bus by yourself, it seems like impossible. And so to answer the last part of your question is that when the bus starts moving and then everyone sees that it's moving and then they all start jumping in and pushing because they see it's happening, then someone yells at you and says, Brian, get in the bus, just steer. So now your income's picking up. And I actually, a number of times, including even recently, I feel guilty about the amount of money that I make on a monthly basis and how little I do, and it's just because I just have so many people responsible for my income.
Wow.
And so for those that are listening, you don't have to be good in math, and I know some of you are way smarter than I am that watch this video, But when you got 700,000 people responsible for your income, let me do a little math with you. So I got, with all my programs combined, I have over 1 million people. So if I have over 1 million people in my group, and let's say they're all lazy, they all have lack of self-esteem, they all don't have any confidence, they all are procrastinators, they're all, don't want to talk to people. If all of them combined did something that generated me $1
Right.
for the year,
$1 a year.
that's $1 million.
Yeah, totally.
So the point is, yes, I have a lot of people that don't do anything, but that's everything in life. But I always, because of the way numbers work, I do have some people that I do have some people in my group that are just, they want the best things in life, so they step up big time.
Oh, okay. That's I don't know. You can't even fathom that kind of success.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked.
And it's fun for me because my goal right now is, my goal is to, my company, Unlimited Profits, I want my company, Unlimited Profits, to make $30 million this year. So I think I'll hit it easily because I've done it with other companies. So why can't I do it with mine?
Right, right. Well, speaking of Unlimited Profits, a lot of people ask this question. I've been asked this. What does Unlimited Profits sell?
What Unlimited Profits sell is we're involved in the $750 billion a year education industry. So if you thought about, you brought up Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, all these individuals, mostly what I've seen in the market space is that you get them, you want to be successful. So then the next thing you do is you go through the school of hard knocks. You start buying a bunch of people's programs. And what's sad is you don't even know if they're documented or not. They're just putting the stuff together and selling them. So my first thing, Brian, is you need to find a mentor that's documented in helping other people succeed. And they got to be not fake stories. You know what I mean? And so, if you were going to, do you have any children, Brian?
Yes, I have two, a 6-year-old and an 11-year-old as of today. He's 11.
Okay, boy or girl?
I have an 11-year-old boy, a 6-year-old daughter.
Okay, so I'm going to use the 6-year-old daughter, daddy's girl, right?
Okay.
So as she starts growing and she gets inspired, and let's say that she wanted to do figure skating. Let's say that she wanted to do anything, wanted to play soccer. You as her father would do anything to make sure she gets the best coaches and mentors.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that for us?
I agree.
So you would say, if one of your friends came over and said, "Oh, I played a little soccer in high school, so I'll mentor your daughter." You're like, "No, thanks." let me see your trophies. Which is not the important thing.
Right.
That's not the important thing. I want you to introduce me to some of your students or some other people that you've mentored. And I want to talk to them, see what kind of coach are you? What kind of results they got. And so I also use the example with martial arts all the time. You can walk into 2 martial arts studios. One where the guy says he's a grandmaster, but you don't see any trophies or nothing. And then you walk into another one, and there's trophies all over the studio, and you look at the guy and you go, "Wow." Or the girl, and you go, "Man, look at all the trophies." And they say, "Yeah, those are all the trophies of my students."
Oh, that's powerful.
So
yeah, that's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I do. So I'm taking all the mentorship that my mentors taught me to help me get where I am. I've helped 45 people make over $1 million a year. 7 of them own their own marketing companies. One of them does over $700 million a year.
Wow.
So I took all my mentorship that I used to just keep to myself and my group, and I took the time to start recording it and putting it together. Plus I do personal mentorship, and that's what I'm doing now. So the thing that I market is, if anyone watches this video and they're not making the money they want to make or think they deserve to make, it's only 2 reasons. You either don't have the knowledge that I have, or you do and you don't know why you're not applying it. I can help you with both.
You get people unstuck.
Yep.
Wow, that's cool. So, speaking back to Think and Grow Rich, what's your favorite chapter? What chapter like really impacts your life the most? It's a hard question, huh?
No, it's a good one. The reason I even hesitate is they've changed over the years.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now I'm in my 50s.
I get that.
I hope no one gets offended. I'm now, 52, be 53 in February. And the whole concept that people really make a dent in the universe when they get in their late 40s, early 50s, because they took all their energy that they used to, on a romantic side, in the book it talks about sexual transmutation.
Yeah.
And they take all the energy of trying to be a quote-unquote playboy or whatever, and they focus it all on business. So, that's one that's relevant in my life today. But in the early stages, I just love this concept that I could tap into all the wisdom in the world by learning how to build a mastermind, hang around a group of people that already know the stuff and learn from them. Because I grew up in a community that, Brian, why would you give me any of your time? I haven't done anything. I haven't made you any money. I'm just a nobody. Why would you give me time? And that's the opposite of the way you should be thinking. Because people that want to build something want to attract people that they can mentor and train.
Right. Yeah, I just got chills because the mastermind to me is so incredible. How he says that all it takes is a minimum of 2 people to make a request to infinite intelligence, and it can be. And that just blew me away. And when you think about how that has impacted history, it's true.
Oh, yeah, totally true.
It's totally true.
Yep.
That's incredible. That's so cool.
It is.
Do you think it's important to have like a goal sheet and like a major definite purpose? And like, when did you do that in your life? Like, how old were you?
Well, I didn't know about any of that stuff until I met my mentor. Here I am at 26 years of age, an auto mechanic, working, hated what I was doing, married, got kids, and just wasn't passionate about what I was doing. And then I got hurt and put on workman's comp. And that ended up lasting longer than I wanted it to. I sort of liked the vacation at the beginning, and I had some money saved. But after running out of savings and then, not being able to pay bills, I started getting pretty desperate. And I found a guy, and a friend introduced me to him. He was making 62 grand a month. He was only a few years older than I, and he installed car stereos. So, I immediately didn't know what an entrepreneur was. I never thought about being a business owner. I didn't know what a mentor was. I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know what personal development was. Are you kidding me? I just didn't even know any of this stuff existed. So when he opened that door for me, one of his trainings that he did was a 5-day seminar that actually made you write down specifically what you wanted for the next 90 days, what you wanted for your next 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20, 50. I mean, he really, really made you write them all out. That's the first time that I did it. And today, I just know that for a lack of vision, people perish. So my goal is to get them a vision, get them what I call, instead of setting goals and stuff, is I call it, design your perfect day. So in my first part of my mentorship program, I tell people, if you were going to have a perfect day, what would it be? Tell me what it is from the time that you wake up, what you smell, what you see, who's next to you, where are you, you know what I mean? And finish that day off. And then let's start designing a bunch of different perfect days. Now our goal is to make those perfect days come into real. So people can get more emotionally into designing their perfect day than when you tell them, hey, you want to, set goals. My deal is to give them a vision, Brian, that they see, And then through the law of attractions and some of the things that it's like they want to make that thing happen. And then they don't realize that they're attracting the people, the resources, and then also the opportunities to make it happen.
Uh, so yeah, I kind of made like a little survey myself to ask people what the perfect day is, and that's like the first thing I ask them if they say they're interested at all with me is like, you have to know what your goal is, and you can find that on my blog if you're looking. I actually have like a link that says, do the life survey and make sure and find out what your perfect day is. So.
Yeah, the craziest thing in this day and age, Brian, and I know because I used to be there. I used to be there at 25, 26 years of age. Is I walk up to people all the time and they'll get involved in my opportunity. They're young, but it doesn't make a difference if they're young or old. And I say, listen, now that we're going to show you how to make all this money, what are you going to do with it? And the number one answer is, I don't know.
Right.
And I go, then it's not coming. And then I tell people, what do you really, really want? I don't know. I'm like, don't you think that's a problem? So in my book, that's why I wrote my book, how is that working? It went #1 in a couple of categories in Amazon. And the reason I wrote that book is I just wanted to share with people my rags to riches story, or like I say, auto mechanic to life mechanic, because I just believe that people need to check up from the neck up. You know what I mean? They need a tune up. They need to, get all that stinking thinking out of there. And when they start getting excited and getting inspired again, they start getting motivated. They start getting excited about life. They got something to live for. They start plugging into resources, and I love transforming people's lives. It's fun.
Yeah, it's cool. I have this question I've asked some people, and I'm like, if I gave you $1 million right now, put it in your bank account, all of your bills were paid, all of your worries were gone, who would you help with that money? Just one person. Who would you help?
Yeah.
Some switch flips and they come up with something that they've never thought of before.
Yeah, that is a great question, Brian. Thank you for sharing that. I'll use that because when you ask them what they want for them, it's like people don't know where to go. But if you ask them who they want to help, it's funny.
Yeah.
People want to help people. They really, really do. But they don't want to get out of their comfort zone to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's funny. I tell people all the time, it's like if someone called me up tomorrow, like I'll give you a great example. I'll hire people to move stuff for me because I just don't want to do it. They need money. They got skinny kids. And so my son recently just got married, Matthew, and he moved into his apartment over the weekend. Well, guess what I did? I went and rented a U-Haul for him, helped him pack, helped him move in. I'll hire someone to do it for me, but if my son needs help, I'll do it myself.
But it's fun too,
Yeah, but like I could say, hey, I'll pay someone to do that, but no, I just thought, they're moving into their place by themselves. I will help them, and so that's pretty cool. I love doing it too.
That is cool, and it's true. People love to help. They just don't know who they want to help.
Right.
So I don't know if this is a controversial issue or not, but I want to ask you, do you have a list, and how big is it? Like an email list?
Now you're gonna crack up. You're gonna find out that first of all, Brian, anything you ask, I am transparent. I don't feel like I gotta hide anything. And another thing is I don't stretch the truth or even make it a little because I believe that when you are dishonest, you can't remember what you said. So me doing as many videos as I do, I'd contradict myself. I'd be a hypocrite if people say, well, wait a minute, you said something over here. So just be honest. So I don't have an email list. Now, I
think I just turned white.
now listen, my partner that's helped me with all the program, Bill Ebert, would go, Robert, you got 87,000 plus people that love and like you that are active emails. But I don't send out emails. I don't collect emails. And I I don't do anything. I got other people that do that for me, but but all my capture pages and everything are all done through my partner Bill Ebert. That he's just a genius, and then I'm good at teaching people how to promote those. You know what I mean? So I hope I answered it correctly, because I don't want to give the wrong answer that I did stuff to build the email list. I just got excited about adding friends on Facebook, building a business page. I figured those out, and I'm good at putting up YouTube videos all the time. If people seen how many videos I put up a week on YouTube, I just did a post not too long ago where I think I got like 937 videos on Wistia that have like 1.1 million views. So, I love videos because I don't read good.
Reading is hard.
Well, I'll give you one more funny thing about me, Brian, that all my employees and partners and friends laugh at me about. Someone will write me a chat on Facebook, or that's like a book. And I send them back dancing Snoopy.
I will teach you how to make your phone read it for you. How's that?
Whoa! Shut the front door. That would be cool.
This is me, because I don't read. I make sure everything I get, a PDF or a text or an email, reads to me. And I'll teach you how to do it. I promise.
You're my new best friend.
I'll make you a video.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, now I have a question about Facebook. I've been taught by several people, from different companies, that you should try and build your Facebook friend list to 5,000, and once you hit 5,000, build another profile with another friend list of 5,000, and another profile with another friend list of 5,000. What do you think about that? Is that a bad thing to do, to have multiple profiles that have friends?
You're going to keep learning some really cool things about me. You're asking some very revealing questions. and here's why. I wouldn't tell you not to do that, because I don't know the people that taught you that, what their results are. I'm always the guy, I learned from a billionaire, Roger Penske, when I was a mechanic, to ask people, how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that? You want to ask people, they say, well, listen, this is what you should do, Brian. You should do this, 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 and this. And just say, how do you know that? What kind of results did you get from that? How much money have you made from that? What are the results and the people that you've helped from that? So I can't answer that question, because I don't know what kind of results they have. On the other hand, what I've done is I thought, wow, I know that all the friends that I first built were not all real friends. What I mean by that is they were people that I was just adding and liking and doing whatever. And then I found out that, I send a birthday to everyone every day. I'll go through my list. Sometimes it's 20 people that I'll share, happy birthday, have an awesome day, you're a blessing, and happy birthday. And when I do, then I get to look at the friends that we have in common, and also what they did in their last post, when they made the last post. And if we don't really have anything in common, or they're not active on Facebook, and I really don't know where they come from, then I delete them and add people that are new. And so my whole Facebook page is really 5,000 active people that personally know me. And so I knew right away at the beginning, as I tell people to do this right away, is you can really do just positive posts on your Facebook and really encouraging great things, but not a lot of business. But then what I do is I make my business page, that's almost all business plus encouragement. And what I'll do is every once in a while I'll share something from my fan page to my personal page. Okay. And so that why, when I tell people when, they don't know why they don't get any action or any results from their personal page. And I tell people it'd be like if I was going to personally sell my home, and I'm going to put a sign out in front of my place, which, by the way, the one I have in Montana is out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's not even in a city. It's just Yellowstone County. We're 15 minutes away from the northern entrance to the Yellowstone Park. So if I wanted to sell it, I'd put a sign out there. but my 3 neighbors that drive by it already own a home out here.
I understand.
And so, if you're always posting the same stuff on your wall that has to do with your product, your business, your opportunity, you're going to get people around there that they're just not going to answer to it. It's like they become numb to it. On the other hand, when you're doing it on a business page and you're adding people to the business page, they're on there because it's your fan page, it's your business. What are you doing? So a whole different thing. So that's what I've learned to do with that. So now I have one that's separate for my book, and I have one that's separate for not profiles, business page, and I have one that's separate for Success in Minutes.
Do you have one that's just for your family?
I do not.
You do not. So you keep the family and the business associates all in one?
Yep, I do.
Okay. Last question.
Interesting. See, I'm learning stuff from you, but it's pretty neat. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, I just spoke at a GoPro event. There was like 8,000 people at it at the in Las Vegas. And so when I posted pictures of that event that I spoke at, it was amazing how my family just was like, "Congratulations, Robert. That's awesome." Da 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 da. And they were all mixed in with the people that know me in business, and then people that are just followers. So, I try to make my page, I guess, me genuine. I notice that sometimes people send me profiles that I can tell are fake.
Right.
So they're trying to market, but when you look at my profile, there's no doubt. You look at my pictures, my posts, my family, everything that I have on my profile makes people want to work with me. They want to get to know me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had people like they'll like me or friend me or whatever, and right when they become my friend, people will start telling me someone is like, trying to friend them. It's like they try to steal all your friends. Like, do you care about something like that? Like, you don't think about that at all, or?
Nah, I come from a total place of I don't come from a place of lack.
Uh-huh.
I work on that mentality every day. I'm not worried about people stealing stuff. I'm just worried about creating and adding stuff.
Creating and adding.
Yeah, I'm, and I hate to do this with you, Brian. I got one right at 12, so I got to jump off here. But
one last question: tithing.
Go ahead.
Tithe, or what is your feeling about tithing?
Tithing?
Yeah, how important?
As much as possible. One of my favorite books is a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Mm-hmm. And so, it's a principle that Robert Kiyosaki, which is a great book, A Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of my favorite too. And it's a concept that whatever you make, you got to pay you first.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay you first. You got to set aside money that's paying you. And this is not for bills, living, anything. This is your money. And then, the second part is tithing. So depending on your belief and what you think, a lot of people try to do that 10%. My deal is, and this is not to be braggish because it's not for anyone to boast, but man, I'm way over that. My goal is like, if I can turn around and figure out how I can live on 10% of what I make.
I've read where people live on 30 and they're living lives that they couldn't live, when they were making millions. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I wanted to understand from a real millionaire if that's true.
I got a friend that his name is Bill Austin. I was introduced to him by Eric Worre. He gives away $110 million a year.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
He flies around the world in his Learjet, fitting little children with hearing aids that have never heard before.
That's cool.
Wow. So you become who you hang around. So Brian, what a great interview. This is not going to be, our last by no means. I know we're going to do a bunch of them because I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed getting to know you, and I loved your questions, and this is going to be one of my favorite interviews for real. And for people that are watching this video, Brian's got his link right there, brianbrowntv.com. get a hold of him. He's been working in the online market for quite a while. Me and him, along with my son, decided to partner up to help a bunch of people. And so if you're interested in any way, shape, or form, get a hold of us. If you have some questions, Brian will hook you up with my son or I, and what we can do a Google Hangout and answer your questions. So, Brian, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for being an open book and answering my entire list of questions.
Well, I know you. You and I are going to become friends, and you're going to come up with more. So I'm looking forward.
I'm going to teach you how to make your phone read to you. I guarantee you.
All right. God bless. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.